Welcome back to the Tracie Trendy Show, my lovelies. It's another day. It's another dollar. And guess what? We're going to get down to the low down dirt of life after lockup. And first on the docket, Bianca and Daniel. Bianca thinks she's hot stuff because she got some little coins in her pocket. But this young Bianca bucked up and dashed from the joint because no one is co-signing for her to be a wifey no matter how much she put down on this man while he was in the poker. So she's just not having it. She's just like, look, I'm not going back in that place to hear another no. In the meantime, Daniel catches an Uber and he calls his mom and he says, you know what? That girl ain't in the right mind space. I'm not in the right mind space. I don't want to go down the aisle with this chick. But I feel as if I say no to this engagement, there will be no calmness in the relationship. And his mom said to consider giving the ring, but make the ring a promise one, not an engagement. He says, I kind of like that. So that's what he's going to do. Moving on to, oh, Lord, Troy and Zaria. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Now, Zaria, it first starts off, their scene starts off with unpaid tickets, and she gets a boot on her car. And don't tell me, now the price to get this boot off is 500 and some change. And don't tell me this help her spend her nonprofit emergency funds for this nonsense. But anyway, it's community day. And not only top of that, it's their anniversary day. And all of that's got Zariah acting cray cray. Or is it the lack of meds that Troy said to just skip that? All right. Probably because he wants some freaky wild sex when she's off the meds. I don't know. He should think twice about telling her to lay off the meds. Anyway, Troy's on the phone, and his tension is not on Zaria, and that drives her even more crazier. So much so that she tells him to get out the car because she's done. And Troy hitches a ride with production. He gets a ride back to the church. And I'm like, why don't you just pick up his daughter, then go to the church? But anyway, he just says that high stress situations are very difficult for his wife to deal with. And I'm like, she didn't give him, at this point, this woman doesn't care about your daughter. She knows your daughter's waiting and she doesn't care. And now Troy's 90 minutes late picking up his daughter. And Karen says, forget about that hoe, that psychopath, that biatch, as she calls her. And she says, we out of here. So Karen and Troy's daughter head back to where they came from. Moving on to Britney and Kira. Now they've been hell and back, but they got a travel pass to Texas and they check out their new pad. And already Brittany's talking about spending money, but she only has a month pass. And I'm like, you're not going to be in the place that long. Why you want to spend money? And to kind of find out her restitution is $10,000. It's not a lot of money, okay, when you've been out for so long. Key Rock has been out of jail for 10 months. She's been out of prison longer than that. So she had a lot of time to pay this restitution. So since she has not paid it off, she's on probation. And if she slips up, she can get 17 years. If I were Brittany, I'll find a way to pay that $10,000 because it's not worth 17 years. But she says she has a certain way she wants to live her life. And that's why she hasn't paid it. I'm like, lady, you just came out the pokey. All right. That wasn't a bougie lifestyle. You need to get your head out your butt, get a job, and help Key Rock. Don't be riding Key Rock. Get a job. But she feels as if there's no job good enough right now. I'm like, you could do nails. You could do something in the beauty industry because what you're doing now, it ain't bringing in the coins. I'm just saying. But anyway, she needs to get a job. But Brittany lets it be known that she isn't going to settle for any type of job. She got her nose way up in the air when it comes to that. She says she got to be at that apartment all day long because she got to cook 3 meals. And I'm like, there ain't no kids in that house. And Key Rock can go around the corner and get him a lunch if he needs to. But in the meantime, they all can survive by getting their own meals and both work. Now, moving on to Justine and Mike, These people should just phone this in. They should not lay out this bed. They should not send a camera crew to their place because every week they tell somebody that they're pregnant. I mean, well, not Mike. He looks pregnant, but it's just Justine pregnant. So anyway, they call up Justine's mom. They said right after the baby's birthday party, the next day, the very next day, they're going to have another baby. And the mother asked, who in their right mind is going to have 9 kids in this day and age? And all Justine says, don't stress her out. And the mom said she's doing it to herself by making her life more difficult. And plus, the mom is paying the cost to be the boss. So, Justine, you can take several seats. Moving on to Melissa and Louie. Now, Melissa is dress shopping, and Donna catches a whiff of Melissa's sister and friends talking crap about her son, and she sets up to them. And I feel as if the sister and the friend are a bunch of haters thinking the ring is fake or that Louis can't afford that ring. And they go on and on and on and on. And I'm like, what does it matter? What does it matter? Melissa's dead set on marrying Louis. She's happy with the ring, whether it's real or not. Why are they arguing over what he can and cannot afford? It's on her hand. And she's ready to go down the aisle. Even if you said he didn't buy the ring, she's still going to go down that aisle because it's on her finger. So what difference does it make? Moving on to Kim and Joey. Kim is playing stupid, still playing it, thinking that Joey is sick. I'm thinking Joey came out the pokey, sick on that crack. Because he's literally draining her account dry. And he's only been out for like a little over a month. And every time she gives him money, he just takes more and more. And all he does is, I'm just getting a little suspicious. I'm like, you lived with a drug addict. You had a drug addict boyfriend before. You should know. And he asked her, does she want to look at his phone? And she says, yes. And however, I wonder why isn't she checking his tracking device that she has in his car? But anyway, she does ask for him to take a drug test. And he says yes. He's just asking for water, any kind of thing to dilute the dope. And she goes to talks to the camera and says, I'm not prepared for the answer. And you know what? An hour later, he has excuse after excuse. He claims he can't pee. All that liquid he consumed, he can pee. But anyway, he finally runs out of excuses. He takes the test and he comes up dirty for the powder. And according to Kim, she was going to kick him out because the kids come first. But loves, here's a new flash. She doesn't. Moving on to Teeny and Rob. Now, Teeny and Rob ask these kids do they want another sibling. And I swear, Teeny's kids been on this earth before because they're speaking nothing but the truth. You got a job? Sit your ass down. You just got a job. Don't go popping out any kids. That's what Teeny's son said. And then Teeny meets up with her sister and they announce they want another kid to the sister. And it doesn't go over well because Teeny had problems delivering his son. So anyway, it's just a whole mess. These people making their life more difficult. And also, Rob wants his mom back in the picture. He asked the kids, hey, can Kate, his mom, get back in the picture? And they're like, okay, if she apologizes. But I'm like, the mom got to apologize too, because she's the one who threw the first lick. Anyway, anyhow, at this time of the show, you know what we got to do. We got to talk about the winners. We got to talk about the losers. Up on the docket is Bianca and Daniel. This is a tough one. I'm going to say Bianca is losing. She's not getting that ring that she wanted. She's going to get a promise ring at best. So the L goes to Bianca. So now we're at 1-0 con. Now we have Troy and Zaria. Well, I'm going to say Troy lost. Troy lost because he didn't get to see his daughter. And then he had to go through all the crazy scenes with Zaria. So now we're a 1-1 tie. We have Britney and Kira. Brittany is holding fast and she's not going to get a job. Key Rock better keep working and sweating and stressing. Who wins in this debate? It's very difficult to decide. I am going to declare Brittany the winner. We're at 2-1 non-cons. Justine and Mike, this is just a total joke. I should just throw them out of the whole running. because they're both losers. But I'm going to give this point to the cons because Justine, you're damaging your body by having all these babies and your financial situation and your whole household. So Mike, he can always skip out. So now we're at 2-2 tie. Mel and Louis. Louis wasn't shown too much. I don't think Louis was on this episode too much. And Mel was on there a little bit. I'm going to say he was getting a lot of flack from Mel's friend and sister, but his mother stepped up. I'm going to give that L to Louis because there's a lot of doubt. So we're at 3-2 cons. Kim and Joey. Joey tested dirty. What's going to happen? Is Kim going to dump him? Kim is really feeling like the loser because you know what? Joey, if he going out to get some more dope, she's still going to keep his butt. So I'm going to give that point to the cons. So there you have it, my love. We got Teeny and Rob. Teeny and Rob, I'm going to say that's going to be a draw for them. I'm not going to count them in the back boat because wasn't really much happening. But anyway, tally the score. Cons are winning. Big reveal. Big, big, big surprise. We have had non-cons win, but this episode, the cons are winning. At this point, my love, you know what you got to do. You got to drop a line. You have to like the video. You have to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and always show that love. Okay, my love, I'll check you all out on the flip side.